What is up, everyone? Welcome to the newest episode of Friday Night Wars, the hottest sports debate show on YouTube. Today, I'm here with my friend Joe Morley Sports, but I'm talking, so you know what that means. 13-13 is now the score. It's my favorite number. And here we are, Joe, tied up once again. Mike on the Mic squad. We got them right where we want them. I'm sure right after this, Joe is going to say, oh, I let you win. I can take it any week that I want. Oh, I'm just trying to keep things interesting. Yada, 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 and a yabba dabba do. Joe, save it. We've taken over. You know it. I know it. And they know it. Let's go.
Let's get ready to rumble. Step into the war zone. 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 Friday night war zone. Friday night war zone. Hey yo, it's Phil Flames. I'm with Mike on the Mic and Joe Morley. About to bring you more heat. Welcome to the war zone. You can have a floor seat. Watch them on your iPhone. Watch them on your Galaxy. It's a sports debate show. Straight up out of SoCal. Gather around the laptop. Friday nights it goes down. And we on the radio. Coming to your locale. Got into the third round. Better bring the smoke now. Step into the war zone. 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 Friday night war zone. Friday night war zone. Step into the 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 war zone. Friday night war zone. Friday night war zone.
Mike, as you can tell, I just sat there shaking my head because you winning is nothing, Mike. It doesn't matter. Like you knew I was going to come on and say that. Congratulations on tying it back up. Dude, I hope you win some more. So then when I come back and I smash you and I stomp on you and put you back in your place, it's going to hurt even more. Build that confidence and knock it back down is what I do.
Exactly as I predicted it. And it doesn't matter. We'll win the rest of them. No big deal from Joe. Joe, you know, there's been a little bit of a turning of the tide over the last couple weeks. And with our 2-week hiatus, thanks to the NFL draft, which was awesome, by the way, it's been like, what, a month and a half since you won a week of Friday Night Wars? How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good because I'm a winner in life, Mike. A winner in life.
Who was it, DJ Khaled? DJ Khaled's giving some speech on, like, fitness and, like, working out and motivation. And then they asked him, they were like, well, why don't we ever see you lose weight? And he's like, I don't lose. I only win.
I ain't losing nothing. You know what I mean?
Not a single thing. I'm not losing anything. Anyways, welcome to the show, everyone. I hope everyone had a great week since the last time we saw you last week. It was a good episode last week, talking about Tebow and stuff like that. We got some more topics coming to you this week. We're going to be talking about the Julio Jones trade rumors. I think June 2nd, Julio Jones is going to be on a different team. We're going to talk about which team that may be. We're going to talk about the Logan Paul Mayweather fight a little bit and whether or not Logan Paul has any shot at it. And then we're going to talk about the heated, controversial topic of should we have an NBA play-in or not. It's going to be a good show. I'm excited to get into it. You want to plug some stuff, Joe? Sing some songs?
Warzone Sports Network.com. That's it. If you guys want to read our blogs, you guys want to check out more YouTube content, it's all there. We're going to start putting podcasts on there, merchandise. If you guys want shirts like this, it's all on there. Everything you need to find us, our YouTube. Like I said, you guys are already on our YouTube channel, but more links there, the articles and the blogs that we write. And then the podcast starting with Tony Tucker coming up is going to be on there. But more importantly, you guys need to get this gear, some hot gear going on.
WarzoneSportsNetwork.com. You can get it all there. And while you're here, especially if you're a new viewer of the show, hit that subscription button, little notification bell next to it, so that you're alerted every time we drop a new piece of content, which we are doing daily at this point. I'm pretty sure just about every day of the week, you're getting some Warzone Sports, whether it's a live stream, a watch party, Friday Night Wars, Sports Force Into the Crosshairs, Inside the Cage is coming soon, Fantasy Football Boot Camp is coming this weekend. She, as the kids would say nowadays.
That's bussin'. Is that what else they say? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Hold on. Jake, what do they say? What do the kids say now?
What butter? She.
There you go.
There we go. We're all trending up here on the Warzone Sports Network.
Yep. We know what the kids are saying nowadays from the kids nowadays themselves. All right, let's go to war. Should the NBA eliminate the play-in tourney?
Mike, the NBA playoff games are a joke. We all know that. Everyone knows it's all about the Benjamin. It's all about the money. How is it going to benefit the National Basketball Association if the 10th seed takes on the number 1 seed? Right? Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. The NBA regular season had already been talked about as being watered down, not meaning much. Well, guess what, Mike? They just brought the fire hose out, sprayed it all down, and watered it down some more. They overwatered it now, right? You're letting teams in that aren't even 500 into this playoffs or play-in games. It's ridiculous. 5 out of the 8 teams that were in these games were 500 or worse. 500 or worse. It worked out for the NBA this year, yeah. Why? Because they got the Warriors and the Lakers, which gave them a little bit of name value. But this is the stupidest idea I've ever heard of. If you're good enough to be the 7th or 8th seed, then let them be. The play-in tournament is nothing more than a glorified participation trophy. A little ribbon that you can get at the science fair for saying, oh, you put Mentos in a Coke. Great job. I don't understand why bad basketball would be good on a bigger stage and make that great for the NBA. There's no need to add more crappier teams to a playoffs. Get it on out.
For all the flaws and complaints about the play-in tournament, all of you, including you, Joe, have to admit it. It is indeed an exciting game to watch. Now, I understand it almost completely backfired on the NBA with the Lakers potentially losing to the Warriors last night. They pulled off the victory. LeBron hit the clutch dagger. So crisis averted of the Lakers possibly being in a situation where they could miss the playoffs entirely. But I see the concern there from people who are like, damn, we could have not had LeBron James and Anthony Davis in the playoffs this year. But to completely eliminate something that is television gold, something that, yes, indeed, does profit the NBA a little bit financially wise, I don't think that's the answer. Just to completely eliminate it. But what if we tweaked it a little? 20 teams, I agree with you, Joe, is too much, 100%. So let's shorten it. Let's make it smaller to an 18-team playoff / play-in. 7 through 9 seeds will be playing in the play-in. Also, the whole conference thing in the NBA has been out of touch for years. At times, the East is more dominant. At other times, the West is more dominant. But very rarely do you see a balance like you see today. So let's bring the conferences together. And instead of making it a 1 through 9 from each conference, let's make it a 1 through 18 overall with the 12 through 18 spots competing in a play-in tournament. The playoffs will be a similar length. The play-in tournament will be a little bit more glorified because the 7 through 9 seeds are playing to get into the playoffs. This will bring possibly a first-round bye to being a top seed, which will increase the level of play during the regular season as well, which is another huge problem for the NBA. You keep your play-in tournament. You add meaning to the regular season for these teams to try and get that number 1 seed, and you still get your max profits in the dollar category. Seems like 100% wins for the NBA to keep the play-in, but tweak it a little. And this is a good way to bridge it.
Pretty much, Mike, you don't like it either.
Not that I don't like it. I like it. I think it's exciting. I think 20 teams being involved is a little bit much.
Yeah, so you don't like it.
No, but you're saying to eliminate it entirely. I'm saying cut 2 teams off the end of it and make it a 1 through 18 seeding instead of 1 through 9 on each side. Or 1 through 10, what it is now.
You know what? Nah. I mean, I understand. It doesn't make it anything that you do to make it one game. So like when baseball goes to the 163 game, it makes it exciting. Anytime there's an elimination game, it makes it exciting. But I don't know. A lot of people were confused with it. A lot of people didn't understand it. Like I said, 5 out of the 8 teams are under 500. Like, come on, dude. Like, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see a team that barely won 30 games but lost 40 something. You know what I mean? Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Combined conferences, there's been years where the West has been like way more dominant than the East. and you got teams in the 9th and 10th seeds that aren't making the playoffs that are above 500, and you got 3 teams below 500 in the East making the playoffs. It's like, come on, man. Y'all got to figure out this balance thing. I think the best way to do it is to combine, keep the conferences, keep the schedules different, but go ahead and combine them for the playoffs. They're all playing for the same championship anyways.
And see, I think that you're onto something, because when I was writing this up or getting ready for the show, I thought like this was the NBA's way to kind of like let lower teams that aren't good into the playoffs for the. But the problem is, it's bigger than that. It's not about the playoffs. It's that you're letting these big threes go together everywhere in these markets, and the market's getting screwed up. So not adding them to the playoffs is not where you need to. What you need to do is you need to find out why these players aren't going to these other markets.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not seeing team ups in Charlotte. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's where you're going to win. I don't care if my team makes the playoffs, because I know they're going to get beat down. You know what I mean? Yeah. So get me some players here that I can root for and see why they're not here, and then the NBA could thrive even more. I know that Mark Cuban wants them to thrive, and he said the NBA is going to take over in the next 5 years. No.
Yeah, if they gave a bye or two to 2 seeded teams, the top seeded teams, either one from the East, one from the West, or just the top 2 teams get a bye, that'll add a ton of meaning to the regular season also. So you'll see teams playing out their season, not resting their players. That's a big controversial topic itself, is resting your players to get ready for the playoffs. When you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 seed, doesn't matter. You're going to have the same path to the championship if you're not the number 1 seed. It's going to be the same path. You're going to have to play those middle of the pack teams anyways. You might as well rest your players to get ready for the playoffs. Where if you're competing for a 1 seed for a bye, like you see in the NFL, week 17 in the NFL matters still.
Exactly. NBA, fix it.
Yeah, and there's a reason that I'm not in charge of this kind of stuff. There's a reason that I'm here talking to you, because I have no idea the logistics that go into that.
Wow. Okay. So people talk to me when they don't know what's going on.
Exactly. Cool. Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, I would be an NBA exec, and I'll be making these decisions, these high-profile decisions. We'd have a 1 through 18 seeding with a 12 through 18 playing tournament.
Might as well let everybody in. But let's move on. If you guys are watching at home, you guys are watching the show, and you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, because there's a lot more to come.
What are some landing spots for Julio Jones? Joe, the first thing that I do when this kind of a conversation comes up about a player this caliber is I go and I check the cap situations of the teams that are in conversations to get him. It's why I had Deshaun Watson going to the Rams, honestly. Everyone was kind of shook and shocked when I had them trading for a top 10 caliber quarterback like that, and boom, it happened, but they just got Matthew Stafford instead. Now with Julio, $23 million hit to whichever team takes him in. Now, some of that can be restructured or paid by Atlanta. I know after June 1st, a lot of the dead cap money goes away to be a little bit more favorable for the Atlanta Falcons and the team that acquires him. I'm assuming still $13 to $18 million hit to whichever team takes Julio Jones in. So let's talk about the contenders to get Julio and who can actually afford that. The Colts can afford that. The Chargers can afford that. And maybe the San Francisco 49ers, but this will be the rest of their cap space spent right here. So they would be all in for this. Everyone else that is in the sweepstakes for Julio either sucks and isn't looking to make moves that are win now like this, or would need a sizable amount of cap space moved in the deal to make it work. So the Colts, they have questions at quarterback, whether Wentz is going to be their guy or not. You don't go and kill your cap situations. Very positive for the Colts right now, unless you are confident that you are on your way to winning a Super Bowl with this move. The Colts can't have this confidence in a Super Bowl run, all while having a lack of confidence in their quarterback and too many questions with their quarterback. And the same with the 49ers. The team is loaded, and all these guys need contracts soon. Are you ready to win now with an injury-prone Jimmy Garoppolo or rookie quarterback Trey Lance? No, I do not think so. So what does that leave out of the teams that have the cap space to take in Julio Jones? Now, I don't mean to be a homer, but in my opinion, my unbiased opinion, I'm being honest with you here, Joe, the Chargers are the landing spot that makes the most sense for Julio Jones, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Los Angeles Chargers. Atlanta is going to get Mike Williams and a combination of picks, or maybe even a different young player. Julio is going to go to a team with some extreme promise on the roster, a team that with him could compete in the playoffs, set to have one of the better offenses in the NFL with the offensive line getting fixed this offseason. And the Chargers, they can go all in right now around their young quarterback while he's on his rookie deal. Think about it. Julio, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Jared Cook, a fixed O-line, Herbert. He's going to throw for 45, 50 touchdowns in this offense. Call me a homer. I probably went way over my time limit for this topic, but I'll sync with this ship. The Chargers are the best landing spot for Julio Jones at this very moment in the NFL.
All right. Anyway, so that was just a whole conversation to get you talking on the Chargers, right, Mike? So you could talk about how Chargers and Herbert and all that. Anyways, let's go back. Julio Jones looks like he's going to be traded. He's going to be done. He's out of there. We both agree on that. And it sucks because I'm old enough to remember when Julio Jones was a stud and he still is capable of playing at an elite level, but the injuries have taken a toll on him and it's growing. It's a growing belief that he's gone, right? He's going to be traded. And I'm going to say the team that you were hating on is going to get him, the San Francisco 49ers, right? I think that's the greatest landing spot for him. Kyle Shanahan is familiar with them. Bring him in, use them. They have Deebo Samuel. They have Brandon Ayuk on the opposite side, a run-first offense. They'll take a lot of pressure off of Julio Jones from having the ball and having to be that man to make every play. And not to mention George Kittle over there, right? So that offense, it's going to take that San Francisco offense and make them complete. A real threat to take it the NFC Championship. Julio Jones will be able to mentor some of these guys. And I don't care if it's Jimmy G, Trey Lance, who it is. They're going to look good throwing that damn ball, right? Because they just throw it up to Julio. Let Julio do his thing. The NFC West has been making moves all offseason. And this would be the icing on the cake. I think the 49ers would be stupid not to pull this trigger. And Julio Jones isn't going to cost first-round picks, which is good because the 49ers, they don't got none. They don't have no first-round picks, right? They gave them all up. So the 49ers have already pushed 80% of their stack of chips onto the table. If we're going to play poker, you're playing a little poker. They pushed 80%. Might as well push it all in. Might as well push that rest of that 20% in, push it all in, gamble it, and win a championship if that's what it is. Go in at all costs. Go all in, San Francisco.
See, that's the problem for me with the San Francisco landing spot. They're not ready to go all in right now. They don't know who their quarterback for the future is. They don't know who the quarterback's going to be that would take them to the Super Bowl. Yes, Jimmy G took them once, but is Jimmy G got that kind of a defense again? We don't know. Does Jimmy G going to have that kind of luck in the playoffs where Aaron Rodgers just chokes and the Green Bay Packers just choke? I don't think that's going to happen if they run into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think this 49ers team is ready to make a Super Bowl run because we have no idea what Trey Lance is going to do or Jimmy G can stay healthy. And if you're going to pick up Julio Jones, you better be damn sure that you're going to win the Super Bowl in the next couple of years because, like you said, that's it. Like if they trade for him, they have no picks, they have no cap space, they have no nothing for the next couple seasons.
I think people are forgetting how good the actual. I mean, I hate to do it because I don't like building up the Niners. I'm a Raider fan. I like to knock the Niners down, but I think people are forgetting because of the injury-prone season that they had last year of all the guys hurt. They're forgetting how good the Niners football team is, how close they played in the Super Bowl. They were like 2 years ago, they were in the Super Bowl. Then they had a bunch of injuries. They still went 6-10 with all those injuries. And now everybody's coming back at 100%. I don't understand how you can say the Chargers are better than the 49ers at this point. Like the Chargers and the 49ers would probably be in the same situation. You're both hoping that some things happen, but a lot of things going on. I don't know. I like San Francisco, but I don't want to. I hate saying it because I hate building up the San Francisco fans.
I'm not saying that the Chargers are better than the 49ers. I think they're a better suitor for a Julio trade than the 49ers. That's more of my thought process because they could put Mike Williams in that deal who's on the last year of his contract, and that clears like 13, whatever the $1 million they're going to clear for him. So now Julio's only going to hit our cap an extra couple $1 million more than what Mike Williams already is going to hit us. So they can actually, and we have $23 million left over, 5th ranked in the NFL cap space wise. We can afford to bring him in and still add more over the next couple seasons. If the 49ers bring him in, like you said, that's the final pieces. They can't do anything else.
We go back and look at the tackling dummies with Adam Rank and James Coe. They have their own show where I put on there when they were talking about Julio Jones a couple weeks ago, and I said Mike Williams for Julio Jones straight up, and they were like, "What?
It's tough."
Got them thinking. Why not? Because
I'm completely okay with throwing a third in there too. Mike Williams in the third. Mike Williams a third and a fifth. I don't care. Do it. Mike Williams is great. He's what we expected him to become, a Julio Jones style receiver. He's not. He's not becoming, but he's a much younger option for the Falcons. They can continue to develop him, and Calvin Ridley can be the wide receiver one over there. Calvin Ridley draws a lot of comparisons to Keenan Allen. You see what Mike Williams does with Keenan Allen. So it makes sense. Send Mike Williams over there. Julio comes over here. The Chargers go on a little bit here of a win now situation for the next 2 to 3 years while Herbert's on a rookie deal.
I just think that I don't know. I think it would hurt the Chargers more. And I'm trying to be real with you, Mike, because I am a Raider fan. I think bringing Julio would hurt the Chargers more than help them. I understand that you're going to flip Mike Williams or do whatever, but Mike Williams, when healthy, is just as good as one of the top receivers in the league. I wasn't going to say as good as Julio, but he's good when healthy. And the same thing, him and Julio have been doing the same pass. They have great games, then they're hurt. Great games, and they're hurt. And bringing Julio Jones it just gives you an older receiver that does the same thing. So I don't know if there's a big difference between Julio Jones and Mike Williams for the Chargers at this point.
Yeah, I just got the hindsight that I know Mike Williams is leaving the team.
He's leaving. So you want to try to get something out of it. I understand, but it's basically like, switching things out. Like you're switching the same thing out for something newer or something older.
Because if the Chargers were heavily rumored to target Orlando Brown before he went to the Chiefs, and Mike Williams was going to be involved in that deal to Baltimore. If they were traded him before a certain day, when Williams' contract locked in with the Los Angeles Chargers, they could have almost flipped it to Orlando Brown comes to us, Mike Williams goes to them. They're both in the last year of their deal, and they're both hitting the cap similar, but they just weren't able to pull that trade off. So ever since, I've just been like, man, we gotta trade Mike Williams, because I saw what happened with Melvin Ingram, and I saw what happened with Casey Hayward, and I saw what happened with Hunter Henry. Like everything that happened to them, they put all those guys on 1 year guaranteed deals, just like Mike Williams.
Yeah.
So Chargers fans, brace for impact. Mike Williams isn't going to be on this team in 2022.
This ain't Sports Force. Don't be saying brace for impact.
Yeah, right.
If you guys don't know what Sports Force is, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button so you can watch them every Wednesday night as long as with us on Friday nights. And welcome to Warzone on Monday. You got the NBA into the crosshairs on Tuesdays. You got fantasy football boot camp on Saturdays. We got everything. We got everything.
We got all the shows over here on the Warzone Sports Network. Like Joe said, hit that subscribe button. Ready to go to the next round?
Let's go.
Final round. Here we go. Does Logan Paul stand a chance against Floyd Mayweather?
All right, Mike. Look, there's absolutely no way that Logan Paul should be able to compete with Floyd Mayweather, right? Floyd is 18 years older. Yes, I get that. Paul is also 50 pounds heavier than Floyd, but Floyd has fought some of the best fighters in history and won every time. Logan Paul won't even get a clean shot on Floyd and will end up either winded, like too winded throughout the whole match, or Floyd's going to land a good shot that's going to make him want to quit. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is not a real fight, so it could be all for show, and Floyd could just come in and take a dive or do some weird stuff for ratings. But this match should be over, and probably is already over before that bell rings, right? It's already done. Anyone willing to pay for this is a sucker. And I have some beachfront property to sell you guys in Wyoming to go along with this fight. So if you guys want to come get it, come sell it. I'll give you a good discount on that. I don't even know how much that we should be talking about this, because Mike, this is what some say is one of the greatest boxers in history versus a guy who has 2 fights in his career. One was a draw, the other one was a loss. So no career wins for him, right? If I read everything right, if I'm correct on him, how the heck does this even get booked? The sport of boxing is hurting this bad that they need to bring these stupid shenanigans in. Like this like this is going to keep the sport alive for them right here. This is going to keep boxing alive. What's next? Are we going to have Mike Tyson versus Daniel Radcliffe? You know who that is, the Harry Potter dude. We're going to have that fight coming up pretty soon. I mean, it just shows that people will waste money on anything, right? So, hey, you guys have some money to waste. WarzoneSportsNetwork.com. Get some merchandise. Get it. It's better than watching whatever you're going to spend on this Logan Paul crap.
Floyd Mayweather is 5'8" tall. Logan Paul, 6'2". We're talking about a 6-inch advantage for Paul. Floyd Mayweather weighs 150 pounds. Logan Paul, 190 pounds. 40-pound size difference. Advantage to Paul. Mayweather's reach, 72 inches. Paul's reach, 76 inches. 4-inch reach advantage for Paul. With that in mind, I think that you're crazy to say that Logan stands zero chance to win this fight. He needs to focus on using his reach as an advantage, much like Conor did versus Floyd Mayweather early on in the fight. And the thing is Logan's strength versus KSI, and in those couple of bouts that he does have, was his jab. He had seemed to have perfected his jab, keeping his opponent at a distance, and that's exactly what he's going to need to do versus Floyd Mayweather. Look, will Logan Paul win? Probably not. I'm not betting the house on a YouTuber to take down one of the best boxers to ever walk on the planet Earth. But does Logan stand a chance? Does Logan have the size, the technique, the power to maybe land a shot early that will surprise Floyd Mayweather and cause an upset? Yes, I think there is a very small chance that he can land that punch early in on the fight before he gets drug into the deep waters with Floyd later on in the stamina department in the fight. But will he tag Floyd? Probably not. But I will say this. The question is, does he stand a chance? Yes, he stands a chance because he'll be standing in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
You got a chance against me, Mike, than he does. And I knock you out.
Yeah, Mike, I'll knock you out. I'll knock you out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure your son just threatened me.
What are you talking about? Your son was here?
Oh, yeah, that was you. You just like grow on command. Boom.
Having some fun here with the Friday Night Wars. But yeah, that was my son. If you guys don't know, if he's on Fun with the Morleys. If you guys find that on YouTube, he challenged Mike and I, said that they could get more subscribers than us. Jake and Mike off camera have always gone at it.
We got a beef going. Maybe we'll be the next boxing match.
So yeah, that's what he just said it right now. He's like,
that was a call out.
Knock you out. Like he said that Logan Paul has a better chance than against Floyd than you have against him. That's what I heard.
That's what I heard as well.
So maybe we got to put it on Mike versus Jake. We're going to put the money on the
the Shane O'Mac money.
Shane O'Mac $1 million bill. Here it goes.
I got to take down Kevin Banks first in this flag football game. Then we'll get to you, Jake.
Yeah. And you know what? The boxing thing could go either way. The Pauls, whatever they're doing for boxing, it is. But to fight Floyd Mayweather, like one of the top dogs, like that's kind of ridiculous. Fighting one of the old timers or somebody who's out of the game, okay, I can see that. And you know what? Come Monday, we talk to Gilbert Manzano, a good boxing expert. So if you guys we're going to ask him about this. Let's ask him about the Logan Paul stuff and the situation on Monday, and we'll see his opinion. Maybe he could change our minds.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he says about it. I know you're looking at it and you're like, this is just a freaking joke, but it's entertaining still. I don't know if you saw the last fight. The broadcast and everything was ridiculous. It was Snoop Dogg on commentary, but it was entertaining. It was fun. Snoop Dogg was like, oh my God, he got knocked out. And he's smoking while he's
Maybe they'll let us come in and call one, huh?
Yeah, let us call one. What the heck? Come on, Pauls. Oh, they're going to make like $100 million or $75 million a piece off of this damn thing. And it's going to probably be 8 rounds or 6 rounds. Like they usually like exhibitions, they bring down the round. So less work for Floyd and more money for Floyd. So he's going to be in no matter what. And
you know what? Floyd's good at dodging like big hits. So I'm not worried about Floyd going in there and doing anything because, I mean, if Paul ends up like knocking him out, okay, wow, okay, there's something to talk about. But
dude, if Paul knocks him out, it's gonna freaking break the internet. The internet will come down, crashing down, like we did a couple nights ago.
Yeah, so
we brought
we'll
down
see
YouTube,
what happens.
the entire thing. Did you see the press conference where the two teams started brawling? Floyd Mayweather's bodyguards and Jake Paul's bodyguards, and everyone started fighting each other.
No, I just saw the one
Absolutely ridiculous.
Jake Paul stealing the hat. And all
that. I was like, damn, this is insane.
I'm all for trash talking as long as you can back it up. So if you can back it up, go ahead.
Got your hat.
Anyways, this Friday Night Wars. Time to start getting back on the winning track. Maybe I'll give you one more win, but then it's time to.
You see what he's saying, everyone? He's giving me one more win. He's giving me that one more week of grace. I'm going to be in the lead with that one more win. He's not giving me one more. We're taking one more win. Then we're going to take a second win. Then we're going to take a third win. And we're just going to keep it going. 20-13. It's going to be 20-13 before you win another Friday Night Wars. Mark it down.
Not scared. I'm not scared. It's like going into the fourth quarter and you have the Chargers kicker. It's not going anywhere.
How long does it go on for? Are we gonna like at 100 reset the score? Or?
We go on forever. Hey, Joe Skirno has a win. Joe Skirno has a Friday Night Wars win. So
he's in this competition.
Maybe we'll bring some more people in and out and change it up a little bit.
That's down the line. I gotta get to my 20-13 lead first.
Bring it on, Brian Bolster.
Yeah, I know that's what you want to say right after you say "bring it on," Brian Bolster. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Friday Night Wars this week. It was a lot of fun. Thanks to your son Jake for making an appearance, a celebrity from Fun with the Morleys, right here on the Warzone Sports Network. Friday Night Wars. Excited for it. Any last words, Joe, before I close this out and give them some advice?
You know, the only thing I can ever think of, like if you guys are gonna go to ever talk sports, you might have to be ready to go to war. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you. Everyone, make sure you hit that like button. Helps us out a ton in the algorithm. Hit the subscription button and a little notification bell next to it so you're alerted every time we post a new piece of content. It's pretty often. I'll give you a spoiler. Your phone's gonna be blowing up for a good reason. You got some sports content to view. And always remember that you never know when you're talking sports or in a sports debate, even if it's Joe Morley's son, that you never know when you're gonna have to go to war.
You like how I stole your line?
And make sure to hit the like button to get the Warzone Sports Network to 1,000 likes. And subscribe.